Konstantin Stanislavski (1863–1938) is widely regarded as the father of modern acting theory. His system, often called the Stanislavski method, revolutionized theatrical performance by introducing a psychologically realistic approach to acting that prioritizes authenticity, emotional truth, and a deep understanding of character. Rather than relying on theatrical conventions, melodramatic gestures, or mechanical repetition, Stanislavski's method emphasizes inner life, objective-driven action, and a systematic study of human behavior to create performances that resonate with the audience on a profound, believable level. Stanislavski's approach emerged from the Moscow Art Theatre, which he co-founded with Vladimir Nemirovich Danchenko in 1898. Over decades of practical experimentation, he developed a structured methodology that incorporated observation, self-analysis, improvisation, and rigorous training. His ideas later inspired multiple interpretations in the United States, particularly in the works of Lee Strasberg, Stella Adler, and Sanford Meisner, who adapted the system into what became broadly known as method acting. However, the original Stanislavski system is distinct from the American adaptation and encompasses a broader, holistic approach to the craft of acting. Historical context. At the end of the 19th century, Russian theater was largely dominated by declamatory acting, melodrama, and exaggerated gestures. Actors were trained primarily to project their voices and expressions for the stage, often sacrificing psychological realism for visibility. Stanislavski, deeply dissatisfied with the artificiality of this style, sought to reform acting into a true art of human behavior, where the actor embodies the character fully rather than simply performing a set of external gestures. He believed that the actor's task was not to imitate life superficially but to live the life of the character truthfully. This required an actor to study human psychology, motivations, and emotions and to develop a methodology for internalizing and expressing these truths convincingly on stage. Over decades, through trial and error, Stanislavski created a system that combined practical exercises, rehearsal techniques, and theoretical reflections, culminating in his seminal writings, An Actor Prepares, 1936, Building a Character, 1948, and Creating a Role, 1957, posthumously. Core principles of Stanislavski's system. At the heart of Stanislavski's method are several interrelated principles that guide the actor toward a truthful performance. These principles can be divided into philosophical concepts, psychological approaches, and practical tools. 1. The actor's psychological truth. Stanislavski believed that emotional truth is the foundation of effective acting. An actor must genuinely feel the emotions of the character, rather than simply imitating them. This requires a deep exploration of the character's inner life, motivations, and circumstances. He emphasized that external expressions must emerge organically from internal experiences, creating a seamless integration of thought, feeling, and action. 2. The magic if. One of Stanislavski's most famous concepts is the magic if, which invites actors to ask, "What would I do if I were in this situation?" This mental exercise encourages the actor to imagine themselves in the character's circumstances, fostering empathy and personal connection. The magic if transforms abstract script instructions into lived experience, allowing actors to respond naturally rather than mechanically. 3. Objectives and super-objectives. Stanislavski emphasized the importance of understanding a character's objective, the goal driving each action in a scene. Each scene contains smaller objectives, and these contribute to the super-objective, the overarching desire or need that motivates the character throughout the play. By identifying and pursuing these objectives, actors maintain focus, coherence, and authenticity in their performance. 4. Given circumstances. The actor must thoroughly analyze the given circumstances of the play, the time, place, social context, historical setting, and relationships. Understanding these external conditions allows the actor to ground their choices in reality, ensuring that behavior, speech, and physicality are appropriate to the world of the play. 5. Through line of action. Stanislavski introduced the concept of a through line of action, or spine, a continuous thread connecting all of the character's objectives. This line ensures that each action within a scene contributes to the character's larger goal, creating a coherent and believable progression of behavior throughout the performance. 6. Concentration and attention. Actors must develop concentration of attention, learning to focus on the world of the play and the character's objectives while ignoring distractions. Stanislavski distinguished between active attention, attention focused on tasks and objectives, and creative concentration, attention tuned to psychological truth, both essential for authentic performance. 7. Emotional memory. Effective memory. Emotional memory involves drawing upon the actor's own past experiences to evoke genuine emotions that correspond to the character's situation. This technique allows actors to access authentic feelings, enhancing believability. Stanislavski later refined this approach, emphasizing that emotional memory should be used judiciously and in combination with imagination to avoid over-reliance on personal trauma. 8. Tempo, rhythm and physical action. Stanislavski recognized that physicality and rhythm influence emotion. Actors must observe how physical actions, gestures, posture, voice, movement, reflect the psychological state of the character. By aligning physical behavior with emotional truth, actors create a holistic performance where body and mind work in harmony. The training of the actor. Stanislavski's method is not a set of prescriptive gestures but a training system designed to develop the actor's instrument, mind, body, and imagination. Training involves exercises in observation, improvisation, imagination, and emotional responsiveness. 1. Observation and analysis. Actors are encouraged to observe real people and life situations to understand behavior, social dynamics, and human psychology. By analyzing actions, speech patterns, and interactions, actors develop the ability to replicate realistic human behavior on stage without resorting to clichés. 2. Relaxation. Stanislavski emphasized that tension blocks truthful acting. Physical and mental relaxation are fundamental. Exercises include progressive muscle relaxation, breathing techniques, and slow, deliberate movements to release habitual tension that interferes with natural expression. 3. Concentration and attention exercises. Training involves exercises that sharpen attention and focus, such as observing objects in detail, listening attentively to sounds, or performing tasks while maintaining a strong mental focus. These exercises help actors remain fully present in the moment during performance. 4. Imagination and visualization. Actors must cultivate the ability to imagine the character's world vividly. Visualization exercises may include imagining a specific room, street, or social situation in detail, then reacting naturally as if present in that environment. Imagination bridges the gap between given circumstances and the actor's lived experience. 5. Tempo rhythm training. Actors practice controlling their tempo and rhythm in speech and movement. This training enables them to convey psychological states, emotional tension, and narrative pace effectively. Tempo rhythm exercises may involve walking, gesturing, or speaking with varying speeds, weights, and dynamics. 6. Improvisation. Improvisation allows actors to explore character objectives, relationships, and reactions in a dynamic, unscripted manner. Improvisational exercises help actors respond instinctively and maintain emotional truth, while also discovering new interpretations of the character. 7. Psychophysical integration. Stanislavski stressed that mind and body must function together. Exercises often involve linking physical gestures to psychological states, ensuring that movement, voice, and thought are congruent. This integration prevents artificiality and reinforces emotional authenticity. Techniques for scene work. Stanislavski developed specific techniques to prepare actors for rehearsals and performances. These techniques are designed to translate the theoretical principles of the system into practical application. 1. Breaking down the script. Actors divide the script into units of action, each representing a single objective or intention. By focusing on smaller units, actors can achieve precision in action, emotional authenticity, and consistency in pursuing the character's super objective. 2. Given circumstances analysis. Actors examine the script to identify the who, what, when, where, why, and how of each scene. This analysis provides context for behavior, ensuring that actions are motivated, coherent, and responsive to the fictional world. 3. Subtext and inner monologue. Stanislavski emphasized that what is spoken is often less important than what is thought or felt. Actors study the subtext, creating an inner monologue that informs speech, gesture, and emotional reaction. This technique adds depth and complexity to performance. 4. Experiencing the role. Rather than mimicking emotion, Stanislavski encouraged actors to experience it genuinely. Using the magic if, emotional memory, and imagination, actors cultivate a sense of living the character's life on stage, creating authenticity that resonates with the audience. 5. Actions before words. Stanislavski insisted that acting is doing, and that behavior precedes verbal expression. Each line of dialogue is motivated by a preceding or simultaneous action, which grounds speech in physical and psychological reality. 6. Psychological gesture. A concept developed by Stanislavski in his later years, psychological gestures are concise physical actions that encapsulate the character's inner motivation. They serve as a tool to quickly access emotional states and reinforce the coherence of performance. Stages of character development. Stanislavski outlined a step-by-step approach to creating a believable character. 1. Observation of life. Study people, social dynamics, and behavior to build a foundation for realism. 2. Analysis of the play, understand plot, structure, and thematic concerns. 3. Character biography, create a detailed backstory, considering personal history, social background, and relationships. 4. Identification of super-objective, define the overarching goal that drives all actions. 5. Sub-objectives, determine smaller, scene-specific objectives that serve the super-objective. 6. Physicality and voice, develop gestures, posture, and vocal expression congruent with psychological reality. 7. Rehearsal and experimentation, test actions, objectives, and reactions in rehearsal, refining authenticity. 8. Integration and performance, combine all elements into a coherent, living portrayal on stage. Influence and legacy. Stanislavski's system profoundly influenced 20th century acting worldwide. His method inspired Lee Strasberg and the American method acting, emphasizing emotional memory and psychological realism. Stella Adler, who stressed imagination over personal experience for emotional authenticity. Sanford Meisner, who focused on spontaneous reactions and active listening to cultivate truthful behavior. Beyond the United States, Stanislavski's principles reshaped European theater, fostering a new emphasis on naturalistic acting, ensemble work, and psychological depth. His method also informed film acting, where subtlety and internalized emotion are essential. Criticisms and misinterpretations. Despite its influence, Stanislavski's system has been misinterpreted. Some critiques include: 1. Overemphasis on emotional memory. American adaptations often focused excessively on recalling personal trauma, which Stanislavski himself later warned against. He emphasized imagination and given circumstances as equally important. 2. Complexity. The system requires years of disciplined training, making it difficult for novice actors to apply immediately. 3. Cultural and temporal limitations. Some argue that Stanislavski's approach reflects Russian theater of the late 19th, early 20th century, and must be adapted for contemporary or non-Western contexts. Conclusion. Stanislavski's method remains one of the most comprehensive and influential systems for actor training. Its principles, psychological truth, the magic if, objectives, given circumstances, emotional memory, and psychophysical integration, provide a structured yet flexible framework for creating authentic, compelling performances. By combining intellectual analysis, physical training, and emotional exploration, actors can inhabit their characters fully, producing work that resonates deeply with audiences. While interpretations and adaptations vary, the essence of Stanislavski's method, the pursuit of truthful, living performance, continues to define modern theater and film acting. In essence, Stanislavski transformed acting from a craft based on imitation and external display into a psychological, imaginative, and disciplined art form, bridging the inner life of the actor with the external world of the play. His legacy endures not only in training institutions worldwide but also in every performance that strives for authenticity, empathy, and emotional resonance.